Hello class, and welcome to some Dark Souls PvP training. So I filmed this because I can't really cover PvP and being a phantom in the walkthrough videos. So I decided to show you guys the basics. So the first thing you're going to need is a build, as in a character that you use to play PvP with. So this is an example build. I've made plenty of changes, like leveled up a couple times, definitely changed out pretty much all my weapons and armor. But basically, this is an example build. The general max level is 120, so keep that in mind. Now, you could just use the character we used for the walkthrough, as you saw when we battled the Phantom in the Oolacile Sanctuary. It's pretty easy to just go ahead and play that character. So the covenant that we will be going to use in this video is the Forest Hunters, because they have a very broad spectrum of levels that they can invade, and they're pretty easy to invade with. So you join the Forest Hunters by talking to the cat person and just answering correctly to the questions. It's pretty simple, and you get a ring out of it, and it's pretty easy. Although I did have to join the Forest Hunters and then kill the ninja guy to get the Darkwood Grain Ring. I'll show you how that works in this video as well. And then I had to rejoin the Covenant in order to make it work. So this is my Sorcerer Build. As you can see, I have 50 intelligence to make all of my sorcery stuff work. As you can see, I have 5 attunement slots along with quite a few spells. I have Logan's Catalyst. You have to buy all of Logan's stuff and then go to where he was after you reload the game or something. It's debatably the best catalyst in the game. I also have that catalyst in case I need it, but it has my castings of sorcery, so I'm going to stick with the Logan's Catalyst for what I have now. So this, you just go to the original Seath boss fight room after buying everything Logan has. I'm also using the Crest Shield because of the magic resistance, and the Enchanted Great Scythe because of my high intelligence. I'm using this weapon because it has a good range, but I did switch out for the Enchanted Baldur's Side Sword +5 later. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys why I'm not using it anymore. I really should put a few of these weapons away. Anyway, as you can see, it's pretty much worse in all the stats except maybe weight. But it does have a much quicker attack, so I'm actually preferring that weapon, but it's what works. Now, I did equip the Tin Crystallization Catalyst in my offhand on my shield, just so I could have an option to buff up a weapon if I ever needed to. But I am using the Gargoyle Helm +5, and equipping another thing would make it impossible for me to be able to fast roll, which is very important. Now, if you're looking for weight, you can equip the Crown of Dusk, which increases your magic damage, but that's really not that important. Now remember, this is just a sample build. I'm just going over it just to show you guys what you could do. This is the Shadow Garb. There's actually a better armor that I tend to use. It's the Dingy Robe from the Firekeeper. I use the Wanderer Wanderer gloves, but I'm still using the Painting Guardian Waistcloth +5. It's really awesome, even if it weighs a little bit much. So you can't use Estus Flasks when you're a Phantom. So that's just there in case I need to heal after a duel or something. What you do need, though, is Humanities. Those are an instant full heal, and you can use them as a Phantom. So those are the main healing item. So I am using the Ring of Favor and Protection to give me that little bit of HP stamina and equip load in case I need it. And I'm using the Darkwood Grain Ring to give me faster rolling, which is important for this build because I don't have very much effective armor. So yeah, it basically just makes me do ninja flips, which is awesome. See? Ninja flips. But it only works when I'm in fast rolling range. So anything above 25% max equip load and I'll be mid rolling. So there are 2 other invasion covenants. There's the Darkwraiths. I showed you how to join them in the Abyss in the New Londo episode. Basically just use the red eye orb once you're at +1, and you can invade any world of anyone that's in human form in your general area. And when you kill them, you gain their humanity because they're in human form and they get back to hollow form. You basically you get an extra humanity, but it only works when you're in human form. So you're gonna need humanities yourself to be able to use them. So there is also the Blades of the Darkmoon Covenant. They are similar to the Darkwraiths, except the Darkwraiths can only invade people above them in level, and the Blades of the Darkmoon can only invade people below them in level or slightly above. And the Darkwraiths can invade slightly below. But the Blades of the Darkmoon only invade people that that have sinned or been indicted because they invaded someone that had an addiction. So we'll be using the Cat Covenant Ring for the Forest Hunters. Basically, just equip it and wait, and you will invade someone at some point. So I'm going to show you guys how to join the Forest Hunters Covenant. Now, because I am in the Forest Hunters Covenant, I will not be bothered by these guys. So you can just walk right through here without any trouble from the NPCs, unless you attack them, which actually breaks the Covenant. So be careful if you're a Forest Hunter. So anyway, over here, there's no interaction with them, but they're there. And Shiva of the East spawns here and his ninja right behind him. So the ninja's kind of cloaked, but if you do kill him, you get the Darkwood Grain Ring, but it does break the Covenant, so you'll have to atone your sins to rejoin the Covenant. So yeah, over this way. And here's the leader of the Forest Hunter Covenant, right up on this wall here, Alvina. So I've already joined the Covenant, so basically just talk to her. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Let me know if you guys want to see the updated build. I'll release another video and you can see some PvP I've been doing. But it's just let me know. Otherwise, I'll just be focusing on the portal walkthrough. Anyway, so she gives you this when you answer her questions correctly. And yeah. So that's pretty much it, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and head back to the bonfire, because if you die as a phantom, you spawn back at the last bonfire, but you do keep all your souls in humanity. So we're just going to go ahead and head back to the bonfire, so in case we die, we just spawn like right next to where we were. It's a good place to be. I don't really see any reason not to be here. So now let's just go ahead and run up here. And over here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and equip the ring and then wait for an invasion to happen, and I'll start filming again when one happens. So here we are. You'll get this message. Once it says invading another world as Dark Spirit, you are safe to take off the ring and replace it with the Darkwood Grain Ring. So, see if you can spot what's wrong here before I do. So, this character is actually this is actually good for all of us because it's a pretty elongated fight. I sped it up slightly, but this person is actually hacking. So he has infinite health, and it is impossible for me to kill him unless I knock him off an edge. So this is actually good because I can actually show you guys. A few things. So I slowed it down just to show you guys he didn't take any damage from a direct crystal soul spear. And he still didn't even after he got staggered. Which basically means he's hacking. So the halberd allows you to so halberd weapons like the great scythe and the normal halberd that he is using all give you a little stagger effect should you miss. So you have to be careful of that. But it is a good opportunity for people to hit you, so you have to be very careful. Now, there are a few tactics you can use. For example, like if someone's using a halberd against you, you can circle around and backstab, or you can try using your shield to parry them. But basically, this build is focused on trying to hit them with spells. But most people are a little more skilled than a hacker, so they would be a little bit more challenged. So you'd be a little more challenged to be able to hit them. So as you can see, another forest hunter just invaded. Unfortunately, he does not know that this guy's hacking, so he's going to go ahead and try to attack him. But this guy's infinite humanity spamming will be able to take him down. As you can see, it looks like he took damage, but he actually didn't. So yeah. Anyway. So you can use your other phantom to distract him enough to get behind him and backstab him. But I missed that attempt. Basically, what you're trying to do is lure him to a cliff, backstab him, and push him off. Now, if you have the Hornet Ring, this will be a good opportunity to use it, because it gives you a little extra animation that allows you to push him directly off the edge. Basically, the Hornet Ring gives you a bit of cool little bit, gives you a pretty neat extra knockback as well as extra damage for backstabs. So that's one thing you could use if you want to, but its use is generally frowned upon, along with dark magic, like the Dark Bead or pursuers, which are very effective, but frowned upon in Dark Souls PvP. Now, there's a lot of people concerned about etiquette in Dark Souls, so just make sure that stand back a bit, and if he bows, you bow. Although you could bow first, but basically you just use the bowing gesture to signify that you are ready to duel. And yeah, pretty simple. So I sped up this bit because it's basically just me trying to get him off the edge, but it takes a while. Now, there is another way to kill hackers. You could actually just bleed them out, but most hackers actually do have a way to avoid that. So hackers are pretty much invulnerable unless you knock them off an edge. So it is possible to bleed them out, but that generally doesn't work very well. As you can see, it looks like he's taking damage, but he's actually not, because he is hacking. Yeah, sped up Dark Souls voices. Anyway, so this is also a generally unskilled opponent, so I can kick him. Kicking is another great way to knock people off edges. It's basically an instant poise stagger unless you hit their shield. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, he's definitely got infinite stamina. There's no way anyone would be able to continue that long. So anyway, fortunately with my ninja flips and almost infinite humanities, I'm able to successfully get him close to the edge at least. And his halberd, luckily, does not do enough damage to one-shot me. So it gives me a chance to show you a few tactics. Now, if I had the Hornet Ring here, he probably would have fallen off. I actually get him really close to falling off multiple times in this video. But, yeah. Now, I did record another video of this build actually succeeding in a normal PvP match against a normal PvP opponent. That will come after this hacker fight. So, yeah, I guess. I don't really know what else to say. This is basically just a really long fight. Most fights won't take long. I figured this would be a good idea because it shows me I can show you guys how to deal with hackers. It shows me how to deal with hackers, and it's also a fairly unskilled opponent, even if he does have infinite stamina. And a few other things. Now, apparently he just took random damage, probably from the bleeding, but it's instantly healed from his hacks. So, yeah. Stop hacking, it's no fun for anybody. Where's the challenge? Although I guess it is pretty fun to try and knock him off an edge, but still. Anyway, I'm running kind of low on humanities. Looks like he's switching out weapons. I'm gonna go ahead and try to backstab him to the edge. I missed that kick. That would have been perfect, though. Yeah. He's obviously trying to use his infinite health hacks to switch out weapons or something. He's fallen into the same trick like 3 times. Now, a parry does have the same effect as a backstab, except it's forwards, and it doesn't really push them back very far. So anyway, yeah, just be glad I sped this up. It's a pretty long video. This is also actually my first hacker fight, so yeah. You're generally gonna want to use a little better gear if you're PvPing, especially in the forest, because there's a lot of people using better gear. Now he's just putting away his shield. Anyway. So, yeah. So you may have noticed that I had another phantom helping me. In response to the 2 phantoms in the Forest Hunters thing, some people have decided to gank in the forest by summoning 1 or 2 phantoms to try and help them to defeat invaders. So be careful when you see a person with a phantom, because generally they're not very honorable, and they'll probably backstab you if you try to bow and stuff like that. But just keep an eye out. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. So if you're having trouble with an opponent, you could just lead them on the wild goose chase and wait for someone to invade to help you. But that's generally not a very good idea. It's just get the other person mad at you. So that is a parry. That's quite a bit of damage, but fortunately because of my armor I'm able to resist it and his low attack damage with that halberd. So I managed to last quite a long time in this. But I've gotten him to fall for the same trick like 3 times. It's probably not going to work for most people. He's actually vaguely skilled, apparently. He can use parries on the Great Scythe as well. I'm trying to get him to attack me so I can get around behind him. But, yeah, not all enemies use halberds. In fact, almost none of them do, because they're not very effective, especially when you miss. That's kind of odd. Now, he does get up from his rolls much quicker than you're supposed to be able to. Just gotta find a way to trick him off the edge. Yeah, I'm really glad I recorded an actual fight, because this is not how actual fights play out. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh man, that would have been perfect, but I don't know what he did there. Maybe he like turned it into a fire weapon or something, I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, just do whatever build you think you'd have the most fun with. I guess, I don't know. You'll invade all kinds of people. Yeah, it's just going on way too long. I don't really have much to talk about. Maybe I could talk about the other invading covenants. Yeah. So the Darkwraiths do get quite a bit of action, but they are in danger of being indicted, especially so they can be invaded by the Blades of the Darkmoon and that kind of thing. Now I have another Dark Spirit invading to help me, so that's another plus, but he doesn't realize that this guy's hacking yet, so we might have a problem. Yeah, anyway, so the Blades of the Darkmoon can only invade people who are indicted or who have killed NPCs or otherwise sinned against their covenants. So they don't get very much action, although they do have 2 means of invading: their little ring and the blue eye orb. But their little ring only works on people who have killed Guinevere. So just keep that in mind. And there goes my helpful phantom. So in my experience, the Forest Hunters have gotten the most action out of any covenant for PvP in the game. My rolls took me too far. Plus, I don't think I could ever trick this guy off the edge anyway. I actually fell. So, sorry I recorded a fight where I died, but the next fight I'd actually do win, so I can show you guys what happens when you win. Yeah. I lost to a hacker. Boo-hoo. Anyway. I know I've stocked up a few humanities, which gives me better resistances to a few things. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. Basically, when you die, you just respawn at the bonfire. You keep all your souls and your humanity. So, and all your miracles and spells are restocked. So it acts like you've rested at the bonfire. And we also would get an upgrade material. I'll show you guys that in a bit. The Blades of the Darkmoon get Souvenirs of Reprisal to level up in their covenant. And the Darkwraiths get Humanity, which is quite useful. So, begin section 2 of, or section 3 of the video. And here we are with the next PvP fight. This is after a bit of practice. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out for the Darkroot Ring. Now I've made this guy a few times already, I believe. But anyway, let's go find him. There's a few generally accepted PvP areas. One is next to the cliff that I was trying to get the hacker off of. One is right by the stairs to begin the area. and one is by the bandit, right before the little shelter. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Anyway, here he is over here. Now he's fighting another phantom, and he doesn't have any phantoms to help him. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them fight this one out, so I can be a little bit honorable. But apparently the other phantom's kind of letting me fight. As you can see, he got a backstab off of me. Dark Souls does have some lag problems when it comes to PvP, so keep that in mind. He's using the Chaos Blade. It's not a very well used weapon because it damages you when you hit an opponent with it. It's I wouldn't recommend it personally. So as you can see, he's very easily dodging out of the way of my spells with his Darkwood Grain Ring. And the other phantom's letting me fight him, apparently. Now I did manage to hit him a bit with the last Dark Feed. And with that one too, because he was in the middle of an attack when I got him. So I'm thinking about healing, but that's generally considered not a very good thing in Dark Souls, because generally it just gets you hurt more, and it's generally considered unhonorable, that kind of thing. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty much out of damage miracles. So I could or spells. So I could either resort to my Great Scythe, or try using these, which actually do a lot of damage. So there's that. But every spell I have is pretty easy to dodge. So yeah, basically it's either easily dodged spells or easily countered weapons. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but this is a real PvP fight. Kind of wear the other opponent down. If they try to heal, you get a free backstab on them. I'm gonna go ahead and try to use the Great Scythe. It does have pretty good range, but if I miss, I'm staggered, which gives him a good chance for a backstab or something like that. Now my shield was knocked down, so that gave him a good chance to hit me. Fortunately, his last attack didn't kill me enough, and I managed to hit him with a Great Scythe. So I get an upgrade material, a bunch of souls determined by the level of the person I invaded, and yeah, the upgrade material can vary from chunks to titanite shards. I don't think slabs are possible to get. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see any more PvP action, I can release a few more videos, or you can go try it yourself. Other than that, class dismissed.